Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Draymond Green speaks out on the NBA's 65-game threshold. Speaking on his self-titled podcast, Warriors champion Draymond Green became the latest veteran figure to speak out against the league's new 65-game minimum eligibility rule. In an attempt to argue against the threshold, Draymond pointed to the 2014-15 season, when he lost to Kawhi Leonard in the Defensive Player of the Year race. "I once lost a DPOY award to Kawhi Leonard, and I think he played 51 games," said Green. "You get Joel Embiid, who comes out there tonight, and he forces it. I don't really bang with it." Draymond is objectively incorrect here, as Kawhi played 64 games during the 2014-2015 campaign, followed by 72 the following season. Of course, under the new rules, Kawhi would have missed the threshold by one game and Green would have at least one more Defensive Player of the Year award to his name. Somehow, Draymond still sees the rules as a bad thing, and he's one of the growing list of players who is actively campaigning against the change. NBA fans disagree with Draymond. Needless to say, the NBA fans aren't jiving with Draymond's take on this. In the eyes of the paying customers, who often spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to attend the games, showing up to play while healthy should be a requirement for every player, not an optional choice based on certain conditions. As fans laid it out in the comments, the expectation to show up to work is really the bare minimum and players shouldn't be rewarded for partial participation. The rules changes may be a direct result of the fans themselves, who have been voicing their frustrations with load management for years now. Many of them are glad to see the league finally taking action against the practice, and we could see more rules like this take form over the next few years. There are, of course, legitimate reasons to miss games, and it's unfortunate that players who miss time due to injury will lose their chance for award recognition. But until skipping games stops being so normalized in the league, this kind of reaction is required to ensure maximum participation. Of course, it's also important to mention that nobody is forcing Embiid to comply with the rules. If he wants to forfeit his MVP campaign, he could save his energy and take games off going forward to make a real playoff push. But if he wants to be the best and win awards like the Legends, he'll need to show up to the games. NBA players are fighting back. From a player's perspective, the new rule isn't just about awards. Since all NBA selections and other accolades can often come with massive bonuses, the eligibility requirements are sure to cost some players a lot of money as well. For Green, he's not comfortable with regular season awards being determined this way, but he's not the only star to go public with this opinion. Tyrese Haliburton, who has also been accused of playing through injury, recently called the change stupid before the take was promptly roasted by fans. 76ers role player Paul Reed also joined the campaign, saying that he didn't sign no paperwork for the 65-game minimum. Needless to say, it's not a popular move among the players, but they better get used to it because this is likely how it will be until the next CBA. Warriors coach Steve Kerr on Andrew Wiggins: "I expect him to be here when the trade deadline passes." Wiggins' name has been in the rumor mill. 1 week before the NBA trade deadline, Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr told reporters that he doesn't anticipate forward Andrew Wiggins going anywhere. "I think he's playing well, and I'm very hopeful and I expect him to be here when the trade deadline passes," Kerr said Thursday, via Clutch Point's Jack Winter. "I think he's been a big part of our team now for years, helped us win a title a year and a half ago, still has a lot of career ahead of him. So I'm really hoping Wiggs is here, and, as I said, I fully expect him to be here. But I don't know of any player who gets to go through his entire career and not see his name in a trade rumor. Steph Curry probably did early in his career. Right now, probably not, but this is part of the gig. And it's not easy, especially on the families, when someone's name is mentioned in trade chatter, but part of the deal." Earlier this week, this very website listed Wiggins among 25 of the most interesting players who might be moved before the February 8 deadline. And the trade chatter is not new. Back on December 28, The Athletic's Tim Kawakami reported that the Warriors were willing to explore the trade market for Wiggins. On January 8, Mark Stein reported that rival teams were under the impression that Golden State was increasingly open to trading him. On January 29, The Athletic's Shams Charania said that the front office would take calls on Wiggins and Chris Paul. Wiggins is 28 years old and theoretically in his prime, but this season has been the worst of his career. Lately, however, he has started to turn things around. Starting in the front court alongside Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green, Wiggins had 22 points on 8-4-12 shooting, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a block and 2 steals in a double overtime loss against the Los Angeles Lakers last Saturday, then followed that up with 23 points on 8-4-10 shooting, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a block and 3 steals in a win against the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday. "I feel like Andrew's actually been coming the last few weeks," Kerr said Wednesday during his weekly appearance on 95.7 The Game. "I think he's looked better physically. I know it hasn't always played out that way offensively where he's looked like he did last night, but I just felt like his rhythm was coming. He's had a better stretch and he looks, I think, as comfortable as he has all season now. I think the extra minutes have helped. I think the shift in our style a little bit opening up the floor, playing smaller gives him better driving lanes and allows him to do some of the things that he does well." Kerr said in that same interview that he likes the direction of the team and is excited to get Paul, Gary Payton II, and Moses Moody back from injury. "We're not going to find better players than those guys in a trade," he said. "It's exceedingly hard to make a deal where you can upgrade your talent to that level." Warriors get tough Dario Saric health update to start road trip. Golden State got an update on its sharpshooting center. The Golden State Warriors defeated Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday, recapturing some of the team's magic from its glory days. Recently, coach Steve Kerr broke the silence on Andrew Wiggins' trade rumors prior to the deadline. He also shot down trade rumors about some of the Warriors' most popular players. Golden State is scheduled to head east for road games against the Grizzlies, Hawks, Nets, and others starting tomorrow night. Prior to the bonanza of road tests, the Warriors got an update on center Dario Saric's health status. Saric listed as out with an illness. The Warriors' official injury report listed the Croatian big man as out with an injury/illness. Saric's status was confirmed on ESPN.com as he was listed as out with no word on whether or not he would play against the Grizzlies on Friday. Saric has been the Warriors' Iron Man this season, playing in all 44 of the team's games thus far. Saric's value to Warriors team. Saric provides an outside shooting threat that has been especially valuable to Golden State this season. He is averaging 10.2 points per game and shooting just over 48% from the field. And you, fan, what do you think about Dario Saric playing for Warriors? Leave your opinion in the comments.